Imagine you're sitting comfortably on your couch, wrapped in a blanket, with your favorite show playing in the background. Everything should feel perfect. You're safe, relaxed, and home. Yet, there's this creeping unease, a sense of discomfort you can't quite shake off. Why does this happen? Why do you feel on edge in a place that's supposed to be your sanctuary? It's not just a fleeting feeling. There's a psychological science behind this paradox. This is where thought suppression, monotonous routines, and the hidden traps of comfort intertwine to create a unique psychological paradox. Our homes are designed to be safe havens, yet for many, spending extended periods inside can stir up restlessness, anxiety, or a subtle but persistent feeling of being on edge. In this video, we'll explore why home is sometimes not as calming as we imagine. One of the key psychological concepts at play here is thought suppression. The more we try not to think about something, the more likely it is to surface in our minds. Imagine sitting at home where distractions are fewer, and the silence allows those nagging thoughts to resurface. Whether it's the pressure of undone chores, looming work deadlines, or personal anxieties, the safety of your home often provides an environment for suppressed thoughts to flood back into your consciousness. Studies have shown that attempting to suppress thoughts can paradoxically increase their frequency. A 2005 study led by psychologist Daniel Wegner coined the term ironic process theory, suggesting that our efforts to avoid certain thoughts make them more prominent. In this case, staying at home, often associated with relaxation, provides the perfect setting for the mind to unleash thoughts you've been trying to avoid. This sets off a mental loop that can make you feel uneasy or anxious, despite being in the comfort of your home. Home, for many, becomes the ground zero of repetitive routines. The more time spent in one place, the more predictable and monotonous your surroundings become. While routine can provide comfort and stability, it can also lead to cognitive disengagement. When your environment no longer stimulates you mentally, your mind can begin to wander, often into the realms of overthinking and anxiety. This is particularly true during times when you're forced to stay home. Think of the pandemic lockdowns, where monotony led to heightened feelings of stress for many people. A study conducted by the American Psychological Association during the COVID-19 pandemic showed a spike in anxiety and depression rates. About 31% of adults reported feeling anxious or depressed during prolonged lockdowns. One of the primary reasons cited was the lack of variety in daily life. This sense of repetitiveness feeds into the feeling of being on edge, as your mind craves stimulation while simultaneously amplifying small worries. The notion of comfort zone theory explains that when we are too comfortable for too long, we stagnate. Humans are wired to seek out challenges and new experiences, and when those needs aren't met, the mind tends to generate anxiety as a form of mental stimulation. When you're at home, especially for extended periods, your brain may interpret the lack of new stimuli as a form of danger. While this may sound counterintuitive, consider this. Our evolutionary past conditioned us to constantly scan for threats in our environment. When nothing is happening, your brain sometimes manufactures anxiety because it's accustomed to being on alert. This evolutionary mismatch between our ancient wiring and modern environments can trigger a state of hypervigilance, even in the safety of your home. In 2021, a survey by the National Institute of Mental Health revealed that 19% of adults in the U.S. experienced some form of anxiety disorder. Interestingly, a significant number of these individuals reported increased anxiety while at home during lockdowns, not just because of external stressors, but because the safety of home became a breeding ground for overthinking. To understand why staying at home can make you feel on edge, We need to dive deeper into the science of thought suppression. Imagine you're trying not to think about a pink elephant. The harder you try, the more it seems to pop into your mind, right? The same concept applies to worries and stressors. Being at home with its familiar environment allows for a mental, quiet space. But in this silence, suppressed worries start to bubble up. The famous white bear experiment by Wegener in 1987 showed that people who were instructed not to think about a white bear actually thought about it more than those who were given no instructions at all. When you're at home, you might consciously or subconsciously suppress thoughts of unfinished tasks, work stress, or personal issues. But suppressing these thoughts doesn't make them go away. Instead, they resurface more frequently and vividly, contributing to that uneasy, restless feeling. Another study conducted in 2010 by the University of New South Wales found that individuals who tried to suppress anxious thoughts had higher levels of intrusive thoughts and, as a result, experienced greater stress and anxiety. This becomes especially pronounced in home environments where the lack of external distractions intensifies the mental spotlight on suppressed thoughts. While the physical environment of home can stir thought suppression, technology plays a major role in amplifying feelings of being on edge. Our homes are now equipped with multiple digital devices, phones, laptops, smart TVs, that provide a constant stream of notifications, news, and information. This non-stop barrage of stimuli from technology can further increase anxiety levels, especially when staying at home long-term. In a study by the University of Pennsylvania, researchers found that limiting social media use to just 30 minutes a day significantly reduced anxiety and depression in participants. Yet, when you're home, the temptation to scroll endlessly through social media, binge-watch shows, or check emails every few minutes can keep your brain in a heightened state of alertness. This overstimulation can make your home, supposedly a place of rest, feel like a pressure cooker for anxious energy. For housewives, the home often becomes both a sanctuary and a demanding workspace, blurring the line between personal and familial responsibilities. This duality can lead to a sense of monotony and confinement, exacerbating the unease associated with being in one place for extended periods. Research supports this. A 2019 study published in the Journal of Family Psychology found that homemakers report higher levels of emotional exhaustion than individuals who balance both domestic and external employment roles. This exhaustion stems from the repetitive nature of household tasks, the invisible burden of emotional labor, and the societal undervaluation of their contributions. To counteract this monotony, many housewives instinctively engage in creative, small-scale projects that bring a sense of renewal to their daily routines. Rearranging furniture, redecorating a room, or taking on home improvement projects offer a tangible sense of achievement and novelty. These activities not only refresh their surroundings, but also tap into the psychological benefits of goal-oriented tasks. Housewives also often experiment with activities like trying out new recipes, starting home gardens, or engaging in arts and crafts. These small but meaningful shifts introduce variety and foster a sense of purpose, combating the stagnation that can result from routine. Nevertheless, the visible nature of responsibilities within the home, unfinished chores, caregiving demands, can make it difficult for housewives to fully detach and relax. This aligns with findings from a 2020 study published in the Journal of Applied Social Psychology, which highlights how the lack of delineated off hours among homemakers contributes to chronic stress and difficulty in achieving work-life balance. This constant mental load, often termed cognitive labor, is a hidden source of strain that keeps the mind perpetually engaged. Breaking this cycle requires more than just physical changes to the environment. Structured self-care routines and external engagements are critical for housewives to maintain mental health. The question now is, how can you break free from this cycle of unease while at home? The solution lies in creating a mental and physical environment that counters the anxiety triggers. Engage in mindful activities such as reading, meditating, or practicing yoga to create positive distractions. These activities help redirect your focus from suppressed thoughts to present moment awareness. Develop a structured routine that introduces variety into your day. Even small changes, like taking a different route during a walk or rearranging furniture, can help break the monotony and provide new stimuli for the brain. Instead of avoiding stressful thoughts, confront them in a controlled way. Journaling, cognitive behavioral therapy techniques, or simply talking through your worries with a trusted friend or therapist can alleviate the mental burden. Limit your exposure to technology. Setting aside time each day to disconnect from your devices can reduce mental overstimulation and help create a more serene environment. The feeling of being on edge while at home is not an anomaly, nor is it a failure to relax. It's a manifestation of the psychological interplay between thought suppression, routine, and overstimulation. By understanding these dynamics, you can begin to create strategies that transform your home into a true haven, one where the mind is as calm as the environment around you. By embracing mindful activities, confronting suppressed thoughts, and reducing digital overload, the unease of home can be replaced by a genuine sense of peace. After all, our homes are meant to be a place of rest, and with the right approach, they can be.